Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. A little while ago I made a video explaining that I was on the fence about the game and that I wasn't sure if I was going to play it, at least immediately. And the reaction to that was pretty interesting. Some people were deeply offended and attacked me as if I had offended their personal god. Other people had a bit more understanding, as I had explained that not every game is for everyone, and generally speaking I'm not a huge fan of realistic RPGs or realistic historical fiction in this sense. There are some exceptions, but generally speaking. And I also had concerns about the lack of magic because obviously in such a historical game there is no magic. However, I have changed my mind about this game, and I pre-ordered it, I bought the game, and I plan on playing it. There are a number of reasons for this, which I'll go into, and after I've explained my reasoning about why I've decided to purchase the game, I will try to cover some of the recent drama and give my take. In case you're interested, maybe you're not, I will give my 2 cents regardless. But here's the thing. I watched a number of YouTubers that I have a good opinion of who had access to the early reviews and are probably going to drop a full review on February 4th. And basically all of them were unanimously positive about the game. More importantly, I have somebody who's subbed to me, who's also on my server, who played the entirety of the game and reassured me how good the game is. And I also looked into the systems in the game, with a fair bit of detail to be honest. And one of the concerns I had originally was, if I'm going to play this game, am I going to be forced to run around in big, clunky, heavy armor, to engage in traditional sword fighting, which is not really a style I enjoy all too much in fantasy RPGs. I tend to avoid it. Or can I be a sneaky rogue? Can I be a bit of a bard? Can I be maybe even a sort of assassin? And based on the things that I've seen, it seems absolutely possible that you can basically play a stealthy rogue. You can use poisons, alchemy. The alchemy system looks very robust, very interesting. The mini-game looks very cool. The visuals are very cool. And I'm looking forward to playing the game and trying it out, because I just don't want to play a big, heavily armored, clunky knight with a huge sword. I want to use daggers, maybe short swords, maybe bows, maybe even crossbows, assassinate people, take them out at a distance, and if need be, if I get caught, use my honeyed words, i.e. my bardic abilities to talk myself out of situations. Lockpicking too, which seems quite difficult, but basically you get the picture. I want to go for a very, very rogue-like Henry. I don't want to play a soldier, a warrior, or a knight. I want to play a sneak, a rascal, a rogue. And based on everything I've seen, and my own investigations of the systems, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 seems to allow for this type of gameplay, and on top of that, I've seen some pretty wild stuff in terms of the things you can do and the things you can get away with. There really is a ton of player freedom, in the sense of the way you want to play Henry, you can play him that way. If you want to play a big, heavily armored, clunky knight, you can do that. If you can play a rogue, apparently you can do that. And so, that type of player freedom is pretty important to me, especially if I'm playing a game where there's absolutely zero magic. And so alchemy will be, I guess you could say, my approximation to magic in this game. So, based on various previews, based on assurances, the gameplay looks really solid, and it seems to be well written on top of that, and there's just a lot to do. That said, this doesn't mean I have no reservations or concerns. For example, if it turns out that the rogue playstyle is not universally available and you can only use it in some areas of the game, or even in just half of the areas of the game, I will be very disappointed, and I probably will not enjoy the game very much. And there's another factor that I'm a little bit worried about that isn't really specific to Kingdom Come, although it sort of is, and has everything to do with me as an individual, and that is, maybe it's my dotage, i.e. my old age, but I'm kind of getting tired of really massive games that take forever to complete. I kind of miss RPGs that are neat and streamlined to a degree, but well written, with impactful stories, 30 to 40 hours. This is a very long game. And of course that doesn't mean it's bad, quite the opposite. I'm just saying this is a personal quirk that I've developed in recent years, that I get burnt out on games relatively quickly, and spending hundreds of hours in a game is, for me at least, to varying degrees, fairly difficult. So that's one point of trepidation I do have. I will struggle, I worry, to complete the game. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the game is as magical and as enchanting as people say it is, and I won't even notice the passage of time. For example, the Mighty Lord RPG Division has early access to the game, and he said this game is so intoxicating, so entrancing that you won't even notice the passage of time. You will forget the world you inhabit and be fully immersed in the world of Henry. And I do trust RPG Division quite a lot because he has pretty good taste, so who knows, maybe this old man can be shocked into being totally taken in by this game. We'll just have to wait and see. Those are my reasons that I've given you why I've decided to buy the game, play the game, and we'll see how it goes. But given the amount of drama surrounding Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 right now, I thought it would be appropriate to talk about it to some degree and give you my take in case you're interested. Maybe you're not. And if you're not, you can tune out now. It's not that important. But as many of you might know, there's been some controversy surrounding Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because allegedly there is quote-unquote woke content in the game, and there have been many backs and forths between people on Twitter about it. About two things specifically: the instance of an African man from Mali in the game, and otherwise some sort of scene involving a gay Henry that is very, very difficult to access, and you probably won't even get the scene without a tremendous amount of effort expended. My take is this: everyone has a different interpretation of what is quote-unquote woke, right? I'm not an extreme hardliner, although a lot of people think I am for some reason. There are certain things that I think are absolutely woke, games that are 100% woke. Dragon Age: The Veilguard was an extremely woke game. And how do we know this? Well, it fits with my definition. To me, wokeness in games is very simple. It is the overwhelming, overweening presence of modern real-life politics being forced down your throat, being shoved in your face, in order to present the message, so to speak. They want to tell you how to think, tell you that they are better than you, tell you that you're a bad person for not thinking the way they do, etc., etc. And to this end, they will do all kinds of things in their games to prioritize this. So they will randomly insert different characters even though they might not be acceptable for the setting, en masse, even though it makes no sense in terms of the lore or in the context of the history of the world. There will be overt political messaging like Tosh, pulling a Bharv, things of that nature. And there will be things that they will retcon in the most egregious way to fit their political narrative. And it is inescapable in the game. It's obvious, it's blatant, and they're doing it for, as I said, very, very transparent and very, very obnoxious political reasons. That is my definition of woke. Dragon Age: The Veilguard fits that definition 100%. And we don't need to go over that game anymore. I thought I might mention it because it is an extreme case, but a case that embodies this principle of what I consider wokeness. Of course, these things exist on a continuum. But regarding Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I don't think the game is woke, to be honest. Not in accordance with my definition. I have talked to somebody that I trust who's played 120 hours of the game. He said there's not an ounce of this in the game. There's not an ounce of wokeness, not an ounce of DEI, not an ounce of all these things that we have come to accept as the message in the game. As I said, there's some hardliners that disagree with that, and that's fine. Because at the end of the day, this is also my opinion, you can give as an individual any reason you want and cite any number of reasons in addition to that reason as to why you don't want to buy a game. It's your money after all. If you don't want to buy a game because there are certain types of characters in the game that you don't like or you think are woke, that's fine. Honestly, it's fine. You are a customer, it's your money, you spend it how you want. But based on all the evidence that I have and have been told, there's nothing fundamentally woke about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. There's some minor interactions with an African man from Mali who has been captured by the enemy apparently, but this is not a major character, and by all accounts he's well written. And there is allegedly, I've not seen it, a gay scene involving Henry that takes tons and tons of effort in terms of dialogue, passing speech checks, and what have you, to even arrive at. And so the vast majority of people are not going to experience that. So if a game is, 99.7% free of this stuff that we've come to expect in terms of wokeness, DEI, the usual, basically the message, well, is it then woke? Not for me. Now again, there's some hardliners, some crazy hardliners that are really adamant about this, and they're saying they're not going to get the game, it's over for them. Again, am I going to be preached to in this game about how terrible a person I am? No. Am I going to receive lessons about pulling a Bharv? Is this game about the importance of quote-unquote representation, which frankly speaking, I don't give a damn about, because the only thing I think is important in games is fun, immersion, and escapism. No. So I'm just not concerned about this in the slightest. And again, I've received assurances from somebody who's played the game for 120 hours, really enjoyed the game, and said there's not an ounce of the things that we typically associate with wokeness or DEI. I have other worries, as I said. I am worried I might grow tired of the length of the game because I am growing weary of eternal games that take hundreds and hundreds of hours to complete. I'm worried that the stealth system and the rogue character that I want to play as Henry might not be competitive in terms of the gameplay. I'm worried in addition about the Savior Schnupp system, which I hear has been improved in terms of the frequency of access to Savior Schnupps, but I'm not too worried about that in the long run because there's going to be a mod, 100%, that will give you access to quick save, just like for the first game. So, I'm largely looking forward to this game. Again, it's still not my genre. Historical RPG fiction is not really my thing, depending on the era. But based on all the glowing praise, I'm going to give it a go, and hopefully, I will enjoy it. So anyway, let me know what you think about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Are you going to play it? Are you going to get it? Are you interested? Are you now turned off because allegedly it's woke? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, thank you for tuning in. If you like my videos, you like my takes, you can leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's much appreciated as it really helps out the channel. And I'll check you out next time. Take care.